Where'd you find this?
The children's section. I just wanted to show you how silly a story was.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 things Marvel's Thor gets wrong about Norse mythology.
Sounds like you had a pretty special and intimate relationship with this hammer, and that losing it was almost comparable to losing a loved one.
For this list, we're looking at some of the areas in which Marvel differed from Norse mythology when it comes to Thor and Asgard. If you could meet any Asgardian in real life, who would you pick? Let us know below. Number 10. More than thunder. If you've ever read or watched a Marvel product about Thor, you know he's all about that thunder and lightning.
You know this, you call yourself Lord of Thunder, God of Thunder.
It's pretty much the main power he brings to the table, considering he's billed as the God of Thunder. But Marvel has ignored the other aspects that traditional Thor specializes in. For starters, he's a god of the sky. On top of riding it with a goat-driven chariot, he can also cause rain. This also brings us to Thor being a god of agriculture and fertility. He blesses the lands to make sure crops can grow for humans. It's believed that's why he's married to Sif, as their specialties combine well. But more on that later. Finally, Thor is also linked to strength and war.
And why have you come here? To make peace? You long for battle. You crave it. You're nothing but a boy, trying to prove himself a man.
Number 9. Ginger God. In Marvel, no matter the length of hair or style, one thing is for certain. Thor is a blonde. Well, except in Thor Ragnarok when his hair became brunette after getting it trimmed for some reason.
By Odin's beard you shall not cut my hair, lest you feel the wrath of the mighty Thor. Please, kind sir, do not cut my hair.
Anyway, in Norse lore, Thor is a ginger. He traditionally has long hair and a bushy beard colored red. Now, you might be wondering why Marvel changed this. Maybe it's something to do with them creating too many red-headed characters in the early days and wanting a change. Looking at you, Mary Jane, Jean Grey, Black Widow, and Daredevil. While Thor is mentioned as having golden hair in some iterations, more often than not he has, to quote Tim Minchin, a tinge of the ginge. Number 8. Non-Sister Hela. 2017's Thor Ragnarok made a big deal of Hela's heritage when she smashed up a mural that amazingly had the truth right underneath.
I was his weapon in the conquest that built Asgard's empire.
She's stated to be Odin's firstborn child, and rode alongside her father as they battled and pillaged. But in traditional Norse, she's the daughter of Loki, and she's not even called Hela, but Hel with one L.
Families can be tough. And before my father died, he told me that I had a half-sister that he imprisoned in hell. And then she returned home and stabbed me in the eye, so I had to kill her.
Her mother is Angrboda, the mother of monsters. In most descriptions, half of Hel's face resembles a corpse, making her extra spooky and perfect for ruling the underworld. Fun fact, in 2017, parents in Iceland wanted to name their child Hel, only for the country's naming committee to ban the name, as it could cause, quote, significant distress as the kid grows up. Number 7. Famous characters' origins. Considering Marvel's massive output of stories, they've had to invent characters for Thor's tale, and some may surprise you. First off, for the hero side, we have the Warriors 3, with Fandral, Hogun, and Volstagg.
My friends, have you forgotten all that we have done together? Fandral, Hogun, who led you into the most glorious of battles?
You did.
And Volstagg, the delicacy so succulent you thought you died and gone to Valhalla.
Thor's legendary friends and fighters are based on actors Errol Flynn, Charles Bronson, and Shakespeare's John Falstaff respectively, and not Norse mythology. Their newish introduction might be why they were slain pretty easily by Hela.
Who are you? What have you done with Thor?
I'm Hela.
As for baddies, there's Malekith the Accursed, who is probably the most famous Thor villain. There's also Amora, better known as the Enchantress, Scourge, and Curse.
Who are you?
Don't you remember? I'm Scourge.
Even the Destroyer armor was a Marvel creation. And of course, Gore the God Butcher isn't involved in Norse mythology. Number 6. Sif Love. Marvel films and comics have regularly pushed Thor and Jane Foster together as a romantic couple.
I must go back to Asgard, but I give you my word. I will return for you.
But even though the MCU regularly forgets she exists, Norse Thor is married to Sif, and she's a bit different. Sif isn't a warrior like she is in Marvel. Instead, she has less violent specialties such as fertility and family.
Take a drink with me. Surely the All-Father could have no further task for you tonight.
But one of the biggest things she traditionally has is long golden hair that's said to represent wheat, hence the connection to agriculture with Thor. Loki, for a wacky joke and to annoy Thor, cuts her hair off. Thor forces Loki to go to the dwarves to make a headpiece to replace Sif's hair.
You!
Sif!
You conniving, craven, pathetic worm! You did this!
What?
I hope you know you deserve to be alone, and you always will be.
This also leads to another treat we'll mention later. Number 5. Busy Thor. When it comes to god mythology from all around the world, they tend to get around a lot. Just look at Greece's Zeus. So Norse Thor is no exception, as he has several children. For starters, there's his daughter Thrudr that he had with Sif. Her name is Old Norse for strength. Thor also fathered Modi and Magni, with their mothers being unknown, but some texts believe it to be Thor's other lover, Jarnsaxa, a supernatural being called a Jotun. Their names stand for wrath and mighty, respectively. The thunder god is also stepfather to the archery god Ullr, whose mother is Sif and bio-dad is unknown. Some texts also state Sif and Thor had another daughter called Laura. Number 4. Thor's real mother. In the MCU, Thor's mom is Frigga.
Everyone fails at who they're supposed to be, Thor. The measure of a person, of a hero, is how well they succeed at being who they are.
Really missed you, Mom.
She pretty much raised and guided him until her untimely end. The situation is different in Norse mythology. Frigg, as she's known in those texts, is Odin's wife. Thor's biological mother, however, is Jörð, a goddess and giantess who's the personification of Earth. Yeah, Thor's half god, half giant. Marvel had something similar for a long time. Thor's biomom was Gaia, an elder god closely related to Earth. But then they changed things up recently and it got weird. Now, it turns out the Phoenix Force is Thor's mother. Inhabiting fire hair, she and Odin worked together when they formed a team, got it on, and Thor was produced, allegedly. Number 3. Many siblings. Since we mentioned Odin and his love of knocking boots, Norse Thor has a much different sibling lineup than in the comics. Definitely his offspring is Vali, whose mother is the giantess Rindr, Baldur with Frigg, and Vidar, whose biomom is the Jotun Gridr. Then we have the offspring that are sometimes described as Odin's kids, but other times could be interpreted as a close ally or friend. For those, we have Hodur, Heimdall, Tyr, Bragi, Nepr, Hidolfr, Meli, Sii, Skjoldur, Hermodr, Itreksjot, and Saimingr. Yeah, Odin was really busy. Although, if we include the maybe kids, Odin has 16 sons. Yikes. We can see why Odin is called the All-Father since he is the daddy of most of Asgard. Number 2. No Relation Loki. Over in Marvel, wee frost giant baby Loki was found by Odin and became his adopted son and brother to Thor.
He's my brother. Adopted.
But in Norse, Loki is Odin's blood brother. So while the other gods didn't like Loki, he was given leeway due to earning Odin's respect. Loki's parentage is very much the same in Marvel and Norse, just reversed.
Laufey's son.
Laufey's son.
Yes.
Why?
In Norse, Laufey is his mother, and Farbauti is his father. Loki also had plenty of offspring. With Sigyn, they had Narfi and Nari or Vali, depending on the translation. With Angerboda beyond Hell, there's the world serpent Jormungandr and the wolf Fenrir. Then, when Loki transformed into a mare, the trickster god got knocked up by the stallion Svoldilfari and birthed the 8-legged horse Sleipnir, who became Odin's steed.
Father! We'll finish them together!
Silence!
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Worthy for Mjolnir. Mjolnir has an intricate magical history in Marvel, involving cosmic storms, gods, and whatnot. For Norse, not so much. When Loki went to get the dwarves to make a headdress for Sif, he tricked them to create more items to calm the god's anger. This is where Thor got his iconic hammer. Rather than needing to be worthy, anyone can pick up this Mjolnir.
Come on, Cap.
On top of the hammer, Norse Thor also had other goodies in his arsenal. Firstly, there are the iron gloves, Jarngripr, which are either used to handle the hammer's power or to make up for Mjolnir's short handle defect, depending on the text.
You rode a hammer.
No, I didn't ride the hammer.
The hammer rode you on your back.
No. I used to spin it really fast, and it would pull me off the
Oh my god, the hammer pulled you off.
ground. It would pull me off the ground up into the air, and I would fly.
Then there's the belt Meyengirth. It doubles Thor's already huge strength. Pretty nifty. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.